To watch my grandma make cookies. What kind of cookies are you making, Grandma?
Well, I think I'll make ginger snaps.
Do you use ginger ale making ginger snaps?
No, Josh, you make a spice called ginger. It gives it a snappy taste. Ginger ale would make it too liquidy. Now, do you know what the very first thing is you do whenever you go to prepare any kind of food?
Pray to the cookie saint and hope that they turn out good?
No, Josh. The first thing you do when you fix any kind of food is you wash your hands with soap and water to make sure they're very, very clean so no germs get in the food. That goes for baking cookies or for making salads, making sandwiches, whatever you do whenever you handle food. You always wash your hands first. Okay, now this recipe comes from a cookbook that my sister-in-law, your great Aunt Marge, gave me. Her church in Salt Lake City when she lived there put it out. So we're going to make this recipe right here. Okay, ginger snap cookies. 1 cup of sugar, I already have that measured. 3/4 of a cup of shortening. Now, do you know how you measure shortening?
A lucky guess and hope it turns out right?
No, Josh. To measure shortening, now we want 3/4 of a cup. What does 1/4 and 3/4 make?
1 cup.
That's right. So what you do, you want 3/4 a cup of shortening. You take 1/4 cup of water and you pour it in the cup. And then you put shortening in. And as soon as the shortening reaches the top, or the water reaches the top, you know that between the two you've got 1 whole cup. So I'll just put shortening in here until the water gets up to the top. Just a little bit more. There, the water's right up to the top now. So now I pour the water out. And I've got 3/4 of a cup of shortening.
Good job, Grandma.
Yeah, wash the knife off. That's what happens when you have arthritis in your hands. You can't hang on to things very good. Okay. Now, I have to cream the shortening and the sugar together. And you do that by pressing this in. I've got this all mixed good. It's all creamed together. And I'm going to add 1 egg that's beaten. I've already beaten it. So I'll work that in. And I'm supposed to add 1/4 of a cup of molasses. Between the molasses and the ginger, that's what gives them a nice ginger snap taste. And get those all mixed up together. Now I put the dry ingredients in, and that calls for 2 cups of flour, which is already measured in here, and a little salt. And then you put the spices in. And you put 2 teaspoons of soda, that helps make them rise. 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. And I do a teaspoon of cinnamon. And a teaspoon of cloves. And a teaspoon of ginger. My teaspoon won't fit in there, so I gotta pour it into it. Now this is why you call it ginger snaps. This is the ginger, not ginger ale. There. All the dry ingredients in, and mix them up with the moist ones. That's all you put in. Although before you put them on the cookie sheet, you make them up into little marble balls, and you dip them in sugar, so when cookies come out of the oven, they've got a little sugar on the outside.
If they don't come out right, maybe I could use them for marbles. Or if you make them a little bit bigger, I could paint them white and use them as golf balls.
That's right, Josh. But I'm not going to make them that hard, I hope. I think they're going to be nice, chewy ginger snaps. There, now this is all made into dough. And one reason why I washed my hands was because I'm going to use my hands to make the little balls. So you just go around. And here's the sugar I dip it in. You just roll it around in the sugar so it's all covered with sugar, and you lay it on the cookie sheet. And I do another one. And you put them about an inch apart because when they cook, they're going to flatten down a little bit. You don't want them to all run together. You want them to be individual cookies. Otherwise, one person would get one big cookie and nobody else would get any. Now, right about now, before I fill the cookie sheet, I should turn the oven on. So I look and see how much it's supposed to be. 375, and they only have to cook for 15 minutes. So I'll start heating the oven so that it'll be all hot by the time I get the cookies done. Okay? Well, I've got one cookie sheet filled. I guess I need another one, so I will have to grease another cookie sheet. I had that one greased already. What I do, I save the wrappers from butter or margarine, and I put them in my refrigerator. And then when I have to grease something, I just do that, and it saves my fingers from having to dip them in the shortening. Then I just throw this away. So now I'll fill this cookie sheet, and then we'll put everything in the oven. I'm all ready to go into the oven. So we'll put them in. We have to put them in for 15 minutes.
Starting to smell good. Grandma, are you sure they aren't done? I can hardly wait to test them for you. They're smelling so good right now. Grandma, they're ready. Hurry up, please.
Okay, I'm coming. Well, they smell good. I think they must be done. I'll turn the oven off. Now, do you know what you do now that the cookies are done?
Yeah, you eat them.
Well, Josh, you finally got a right answer. Here you are. You can sample it.
Thank you.
Now, would you like me to take the camera and put it on you while you do the dishes?
Ha ha, very funny, Grandma.